We were given a project to sort of talk about and bring up like mental or physical illnesses that are like a problem worldwide. And so I chose to do my piece about OCD because I suffer from some OCD tendencies and it kind of sucks sometimes. And I feel like art just allows me to not have to focus on like the really strict details and like rules and stuff that normally I have to do, and like my brain just tells me weird things sometimes. But yeah, so we were given that project and I chose OCD, and so I decided to paint like squares that look really strictly outlined. I don't really know what the word for that would be, but they're really like strictly outlined, and then they sort of start to look not as perfect and go into the colorful background at the bottom of it, which is an acrylic pouring technique that's sort of hard to describe, but it ends up looking really cool. I would probably go back and make sure all of the gray tones in the squares are the same color, because as I said, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist and it bothers me that they're not all the exact same shade. Yes. Like I said, the gray tones, it is really hard to make the same gray twice. And I was going back and forth between my house and school working on it. So my art teacher, Gibby, has one black, and then I have a different brand of black paint at home. And they made different shades, and it was really irritating. Yeah, that was probably the biggest thing. I really like the drips from the squares, that it's like really high contrast with the colorful background. That's probably my favorite part. It looks cool. Maybe just think more about like artists and what difficulties they like face with like stuff they might be dealing with, and just try and take that out of their art.
The relationships with my friends and my family, I kind of related it to a couple of the issues I've had. Maybe not as serious or as, I don't know, ghostly, but for sure base it off of real life events. Add more details to the beginning and the end, making sure that there are, I don't know, less about, I don't know, the poem in the beginning, make it and focus it more on that than other details. It's always hard to start a story. It's always hard to end a story for me. I just kind of waited it out and I watched TV while I was doing it, and it always helps. Like the ending where this guy's old friend is kind of like laying him to rest in the graveyard, kind of like not knowing where it's going to go next and kind of leaving it off there. Watch after your friends, make sure they're okay.